force that you play with talks about. Can you tell us maybe the origin story of when or where you got not just the athleticism, but the force and the effort that you bring to the floor?
I mean, generally, I've always just been kind of an aggressive guy. Kind of grew up in a rough neighborhood. Where I grew up at, it's like if you were ever soft, it took advantage of you. So I kind of just built that habit. I always played. I played multiple sports. Played football, ran track. And I kind of did it all. So I just always had a competitive spirit, and it's always just stuck with me. I have an affinity for just going hard every time I get out there.
Playing with that tenacity up until the last second, is that something we can expect from you from every game?
Pretty much. That's what I do. I think that's what I'm here for. I think that's what got me here, for all these years.
And is that something you take in every aspect of your life, or just on the court?
Pretty much every aspect of my life that I'm passionate about. I've been influenced by a lot of people in my family to get into basketball, and so when I play for others, it just drives me and motivates me more than just playing for myself. So.
Myles, Curtis Martin, Overline Sports. It seemed like today, every time you would sub back in the game, you would score a basket right away. What were you doing today to stay locked in? Obviously you're coming back off the bench to get in the game. What's keeping you locked in every second of the game?
I think just last game lit a fire under me. You don't have long to get acclimated to everything. I prepped the night before, got my mind right. I knew that I've been here before. It's not my first game ever. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. So it just came naturally. I just kind of felt it. Could feel it when I woke up this morning that I was gonna have a lot of energy to give for the team to try to win.
Hey Myles, Matt Cullen, I do the commentary for the team.
How you doing?
Really noticed how vocal you are on the court, even on the sidelines, on the court as well. Where does that come from? Does that come from a mentor, or is that just you?
That's just me. It just so happens that a lot of my mentors are, very vocal, which that's what kind of drove me to them. But yeah, I really don't like losing, and so I've always tried my best to vocalize and do my part. I'm not perfect. I know none of my teammates are perfect, but I think the goal is to be, as perfect as we can be, and be the best that we can be. And I just want that to come out every time we play, in every person on the staff, and so on and so forth.
And I like the jacket. How have you found your time north of the border? It's probably a pretty big deal where you play from.
I appreciate it. I actually like it. I like the cold. Even though I'm from Houston, I'm from Texas, I like the cold. I'm not gonna lie. I do my best work in the cold. You know what I'm saying? I get my best fits. I've only, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's nothing, by the way. I just want you to know that. So, I only brought two bags with me over here. So, it's about time for me to get some new stuff. Yeah.
Oh, honey, this isn't cold.
Oh, I know. I understand. I do understand that for sure.
Sophie Shea with Raptors Public. I want to go back to that vocal point on the court. It seemed like you were also a bit of a conduit out there at times for a coach and some of the play calling and stuff going on, and really being a leader on the court. Is that something you take as part of the responsibility of a player, being a leader, or is that just part of just come naturally for you?
I guess so. Like just that leadership quality I have. I think as professionals and as a team, it's no designated leader. I feel like when you're playing a team sport, everybody's a leader. You know what I mean? So, everybody leads in their own way. My way is being vocal. Even if I'm the one messing up, you know what I'm saying? I vocalize that so that way they don't do the same mistakes that I did. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter who's getting paid what, two-way or not. Everybody should be on the same page, and that's just the only thing I really want when we play every night.
Priscilla, on point basketball. Going back to fashion, basketball and fashion go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So how big is that for you? Game day fits and your shoes are fire. What's your fit? Another question. What's your favorite sneaker?
That's crazy because these are definitely beat, but I appreciate it. I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I can't lie. As far as game day, I really don't care that much about game day fits. It has nothing to do with me playing. I just come ready, and if I just so happen to throw something on, I do. If I come in here with a beat shirt, a beat jacket, with some dingy, sweats, it's not going to change my mental coming into the game.
Has anyone given you any good winter jacket recommendations? Has your teammates been helping you out in that sense?
Yes. yeah. I think the biggest.
Which teammate specifically?
I prefer not to say. Nah, they just said layer up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get rough. But you know, I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Like to stay inside. You know, snuggle in my blanket. Cool. Yeah.
In your few professional stops, it seems like this one you got the most, at least shot attempts, most freedom to sort of roam around. How's that increased responsibility feel to you?
It feels great. It's a little different. I just gotta make the most of it. You know, take care of the opportunity and win some games. But it definitely feels like a fresh start, and I'm loving being there.
Okay, Zolfi with Raptors Republic. A game like tonight, where obviously the team's undermanned, they get off to a really hot start shooting, especially from three, and things just don't seem to be bouncing your way early. Is that one of those games where you just chalk up as like, it's not your night, we move on to the next one, or do you try to take as much from it as you can? What was the mindset?
Just try to take as much of it. We're not gonna give up during the game, so just keep on going and try to win the game.
What's Coach Khoury's style? What's his style like? Obviously, it's your first year with him. How have you found his coaching style so far in the first few weeks?
He got a great coaching style. He knows how to adapt to situations very fast and by the fly. Like coming in and shoot around, we know how to adapt and know what we need to work on to win the game. We just got to execute it.
Hi, I'm Kay Janet, On Point Basketball. From your personal perspective, what is the first step into moving on from a double loss like this?
Just getting better. Me personally, I got to stay out of foul trouble. That's 2 games getting fouled. No matter what, if I think it's not fouls or not, I still got to figure out a way to stay on the floor.
Can we talk a little bit about Myles Burns' game? Obviously, great coming off the bench, 21 points.
Yeah, he plays with so much force every time he's out there on both ends of the court. Did a great job reading, went to cut, went to space, went to kind of pull behind and attack with drives. And then on the defensive end, he was the top man in the zone for us a bunch and was pretty disruptive when he did it. And then when we switched to man-to-man, he's capable of guarding all 5 positions. So nice to have him out there.
And then obviously, you know, I think the storyline of these 2 games, unfortunately, has been the lack of players on the roster active. So what was your strategy coming into this game? Obviously, you know, again, for the second game, not having the depth on your bench to draw upon.
Yeah, it's no excuse. We had 8 guys play today and 8 great players. So we needed to win with what we have. We tried to put in some wrinkles to slow them down. I thought we did a pretty good job holding them to under 40% and 27% from 3. Couldn't finish enough possessions that we needed to finish. They had too many offensive rebounds. But it was self-inflicted. 22 turnovers for 25 points. It's going to be really tough to win a game doing that.
Can you give us a little inside baseball, perhaps? The first couple plays in the first quarter, it looked like you and Ryan had some sort of communication. You were smiling at each other, it appeared.
Yeah. It was just a weird coincidence. We were like, of the millions of different plays you could run, we ran the exact same play as our after timeout. So both threw it to the elbow, then had a little fake weak side action just to go to a strong side DHO, and both of us ran the exact same thing. He got a 3 out of his, we got a deflection out of bounds.
And going back to Myles, outside of the box score, and him sort of flying around, 2 minutes left in the game, it's a blowout, and he's falling on his stomach on the floor. Does that mean something?
Playing with energy and force is a skill. Everybody says just play harder, but there's very few people who can actually just do that. Myles brings it. It doesn't matter time, score, practice, game, shoot around, whatever. To some people it's natural, it's innate, and people can talk about skill of he's a great shooter or a great ball handler, great whatever. Playing with that much force is a skill too, and he's got that skill.
Coach, what is the toughest part about, you come off a loss, you go back, you watch film, you talk about adjustments, and then you come out with the same result. Not technically the same result, but a loss again.
Yeah, it sucks to lose. Nobody's happy in the locker room after a loss. You really you need to figure out what you can take from each game and from each possession. But at the end of the day, it's still measured in wins and losses. And every time you lose, you don't sleep all that night. You don't sleep all to the next game. So it's extremely frustrating, but we got to figure it out. Showcase season is short, so we got to turn it around pretty quick and take it from there.
Jayshawn Page, she's probably your most tenured G League player. Do you kind of feel that veteran presence from him? Does he kind of give the guys a little bit of advice when they're in situations?
He's more of a quiet leader. He's not necessarily one who's going to be huddling up the group and saying, hey, here's how we're going to turn it around.
Coach, you mentioned the turnovers there, and obviously you guys getting to know each other, but when you look at practice next week, are there any sort of techniques or strategies that you try and clean that sort of thing up? How do you approach that?
A lot of the turnovers were not chemistry based, I don't think. We had 21 turnovers, and I think 10 of them were live ball turnovers. The other 11 were dead ball turnovers, which quite a few of those were travels or kind of not catching the ball, cleaning it, bobbles out of bounds. It's a lot of it's physicality and toughness. We know when we throw it into a pocket that they're going to bring the house and try and smack the ball out of our hands, and we just got to lift our elbows up and grab the ball and snatch it out of the air. So it's no longer catching it, we have to snatch it. We just have to be more nasty.